Hello everybody, I'm Jerome Wright here again, and once again you're joining me on my YouTube Jeronification channel here on YouTube. Okay, I have an image up here of a brain, presumably a human brain. Okay, and this brain is actually, I'm going to discuss in detail that our brains is not the century command center for the intelligence of what we are or what we came to be. It's my position that this is just a processing point for our thoughts, our movement, and that's it. It's my position that our brain does not contain in itself the command center, if that makes sense to you. Our brain, unlike our car, where the engine is driving the car, there's a control module or a what they call a brain that actually makes all of the decisions for the car to start and all that. It's my position that our brain is the same exact way. If you think about it, people, and let this marinate on your brain, on your mind for a minute, that this you would not have an all-in-one scenario where your brain, the command center, all of that is right there in your head. It wouldn't make for a logical defense system for your body, because whatever attacks this part would actually kill the command center as well too. Strategically, think about it. So, the creators of our bodies, which I am in link with through my paranormal experience and encounter, utilize to create this here, and put the brain behind it all somewhere else. I got your attention, don't I? First time you ever heard that. You never heard that before. Well, people, I have over 200 plus videos here of things that you never heard before, and I have no end in sight. Let me tell you how I arrived at finding this before I reveal to you where your true brain actually is. This is only this is only to process your thoughts and your body movements. Your brain, the brain behind the brain, is not here. I'm going to tell you where it's at. Yesterday I was looking at crystal skulls. I call them now crystal balls because I can read them. This is a crystal skull. Back over here you have a penis with a being on the penis, which identifies this penis. That's right, people. Here you have a shark coming in with a reptilian being in its mouth, describing our reptilian ancestors. Here you have the lizard, the dinosaur, the creature from which we evolved in, which is actually appearing on the Peruvian stones and all throughout ancient history, Angkor Wat, where you have triceratops and all of that incorporated in glyphs, describing that land creatures, prehistoric land creatures and oceanic creatures are the causing forces or factors behind the creation of mankind. Bulls, which you see in Christianity, which explains our horned beings. That's why this being is up here, where the horn would be on the bull, stating that these beings that were thought to be mythical were actual. Here's the pig, which identifies this being as being with a heart that is almost identical to mankind. And you have the three-headed serpent coming out of the pig's mouth in the shape of Poseidon's W fork that he carries, amazing that we have oceanic creatures, reptilians, and this, that, and the third, and then have an open pig here with a almost like a fork-like scenario with a three-headed serpent on it, bent over, almost in the shape of like Poseidon's sea staff, if you want to call it, if you will, or sea fork. Over here, coming in, facing these, which mankind was later bridged over, you have the male lying down here, facing in towards these genetics, and up here is the female line, representing the male and the female, and showing you how there was a continuation of bridging over, which calls from the likenesses of man to go from their darkest of ape and African ancestor likenesses to our later Caucasian likenesses, and that's what this is describing here. And this is all in this crystal ball here, people, that I can read. In the eye socket area of the crystal ball, there is another being right here that looks like the alien. You see, people, understanding who you are, your identity, and who you truly are, you can see the multidimensional images, which represents all of the above. But anyway, I'm going to get away from that. I just wanted to share that with you. Yesterday, while going through one of my paranormal moments, I was having some thoughts. And I was wondering where these thoughts was coming from. Because it's amazing, people, because if I want to know something, I ask myself and the answer arrives. Okay? It's very, 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 very unique what I have, this gift that I have. Okay? Now, I asked myself, where was this thought coming from in my mind? This feeling that I was getting. And the answer came to me. That the thoughts were not coming from my head. You know where the thoughts were coming from? My heart. You see, people, through my paranormal experience and encounter, I have made the world's most amazing discovery that mankind could possibly ever come to know. The general, the command center, the command post for our brains is not in our brains, it's in our hearts. Think about it. For all of those of you, I'm going to give you some statings. After I made this discovery, it was like not an aha moment, but it was like suddenly I knew myself better. Just in that instant that I made that amazing find, it was like a rush of an anxiety, of a feeling that you could never possibly even imagine. It was like there was a click between both things and said, you finally got it. Now you know who you really, really are. People, the driving force behind our minds and what is telling our minds, the processing thing, what to do, is our hearts. Let me tell you, let me give you some things that we automatically say. Listen to some of these. I put two and two together afterwards, of course, but check this out. This is some of the things that we say to ourselves, or people say to us. I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my heart that it is the right thing to do. You don't say, I feel it in my mind it is the right thing to do. You say, I feel it in my heart it is the right thing to do. I want the other one that is strong. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Why would we even entertain such a thought in our minds to follow our hearts? You know why? Because it is our hearts that is leading us, people. It is our hearts that is leading us. Our creators it would be too easy to destroy creation, to put the command post in the thought processing plant of what we call and describe as our brains. No, they split it and put the brain, the thinking part that controls this processing plant, in your heart. So your brain is not here. Your brain is here in your heart. Everything that we do, everything, think about it. We are all led by our hearts. We do from our hearts. Our bodies can function without the brain. I mean, you can live on, of course. You'd be brain dead. But the heart goes on. The process of it goes on. And even when our brains are shut down or we have brain damage, it is still believed that you still have just these imaginative thoughts. They're just not outwardly, they're inwardly. What could cause that except for our hearts? You see, people, we would be too easy of a being to destroy if the idea, the brain, the general, was inside of our brains. We would be too easy to dissect and take it apart. So our creators were clever enough to split the two, to put the general, the thinker, not in a place where someone can crack your skull open, split your wig, so to speak, and go right to where all of this is going on. No. They put it here where you would not even look. So the thinker behind our brains is in our heart. The little guy almost reminds me of Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz that's behind the curtain. Is hiding somewhere in there, in our hearts. Notice when you get bad news. Notice when something happens, when you're hurt from love, how the pain from all of that is actually here. So if you love someone with all your heart, where the general is, where your true brain is, the pain is not there. You may get a slight headache or whatever, but the pain is not really there. The pain is felt here. You know why? Because this is where your brain is at. Over here. Very clever, isn't it, people? You see, what makes for better sense than what I just described? What makes for better sense than what I just described? Scientists have been opening up brains. Leonardo da Vinci has been opening up brains, and no one has figured out until now where the sensory command center is for our brains. I'm telling you that it is in our heart. whatever, there is something here, possibly similar to like an umbilical cord, or I don't know what you would look for in something like this here, because I'm not a scientist, a medical expert, or none of that of the third, but almost like a telephone line that we would have to be able to, a landline or something that we would be able to communicate. People, or even if it's in the blood itself, the blood, like a fiber optic cable system or whatever that attaches every part of the brain, even the blood. Little army soldiers in there that know exactly what to do from the heart, running through our brains, or running through our mind. That's another famous thing. We have all these thoughts running through our head. You heard that before? That the blood from the heart could be that telling us what to do, or giving us the thoughts, and all the brain does is process the thoughts. All of those little blood guys running around our minds, processing our thoughts, and we are a small part of something that is directing us from our hearts. This is why if you will do drugs or if you drink, it doesn't affect the mind first. It affects our blood first. So now, in that drunken state or that high state, that our blood has been tainted. Our command post behind the heart has been tainted. The heart, the little guys now running through your mind are discombobulated. You can't process the thoughts, right? Because these little guys are under the influence. So now, this maze of thoughts that you are having are discombobulated and you can't think straight. Nothing can be processed. You see, people? So it's my position that the command center for our brains is in our hearts, and our hearts send communication to our brain, where our brain processes the thoughts for our movement and for our actions to follow therefrom. Our eyes help us see where we are going. It's a reverse scenario of your car and your engine, where your engine, which is right behind your headlights, which would be your eyes and your head, is being told what to do by the brain, which sits in your car, usually underneath the dash somewhere. Well, this is a reverse scenario of that. I'm telling you that what we have, where this is considered to be our engine, and then this be the brain, I'm telling you that it's a reverse process, where our brains is just a processing place where it takes place, and the actual brain behind the brain is in our hearts. Or this scenario, since I'm on to this, is that it could be a loop where a piece of the brain is attaching inside of the heart, which is the command center. And instead of it being stored here, where is it vulnerable to attack by not just prying hands and prying eyes, that it would be cleverly hidden in the heart where no one would ever look for it. The thinking behind our minds is hidden within our hearts. My name is Jerome Wright. You're watching my Jeronification channel, and this will probably be one of the most amazing discoveries that I've had. Well, I take that back because all of my discoveries are amazing. But I will continue to bring you logical videos because through my genuine paranormal experience and encounter, I can continue to do so. I don't have no end. But people, just share this. All I'm asking is just like I'm sharing this with you and you're compelled by what I'm stating. Share this so the rest of the world can know what is actually happening with us and what is going on. Look at my other videos that I have here. YouTube search my name, Jerome Wright, and look at the many other videos that are 200 plus. I think it's 217 videos. This would probably be like 218 videos that I have here now. And all of the other stuff that I have, even on my alien UFO site that I'm on, all of my videos, people, and my information is that I've already previously posted either on my alien UFO site or here on YouTube, are based on my steps, my passage to come here to bring you this. Those videos, which has allowed me to experience in sight and in thought, has given me the multidimensional sense of awareness to bring this to you. Who would have thought, or who would ever even describe? But yet I give you a scenario that without no scientific backing, you could accept. You know why, people? Because deep down inside, we already can feel this. So as I am revealing this to you, you are feeling this because you know why? I have connected you physically, mentally, in a way with yourself that you have never even thought before. So now what do as I'm describing this to you? You connect your mind to your heart and it opens up. It connects you with yourself. It opens up dimensions in your mind and in your body that you never knew that you had existed. There were people that don't want you to know this. They want there to be a line drawn between you having this knowledge. They want to separate you from knowing that your mind is only the processing plant and your heart is actually your command center. That block is everything that has been given to you. The misleading facts through science and medicine, and medical fields, the misleading facts and religion, that's the dividing line that keeps you from that. Here in this video, I am sliding that line away. Once you go in yourself, connect your thoughts to its command center. Your command center, even entertaining the idea of what I'm just telling you, tells that little general that's in here, that the person that being that's inside of your heart that's telling you what to do, saying the cat is out the bag. Our body knows that we're here. Our body knows that we are the driving force behind it. And that's what this is all about, people. Watch how you start feeling differently now that you know that your brain is just a processing plant. The boss behind your brain, the general behind your brain, is hidden within your heart. My name is Jerome Wright. You're watching my Jeronification channel. And share my videos. Okay? I'm going to keep bringing compelling videos to you. Share my videos. Thank you. Strategically, think about it. So, The creators of our bodies, which I am in link with through my paranormal experience and encounter, utilize to create this here, and put the brain behind it all somewhere else. I got your attention, don't I? First time you ever heard that. You never heard that before. Well, people, I have over 200 plus videos here that of things that you never heard before, and I have no end in sight. Let me tell you how I arrived at finding this before I reveal to you where your true brain actually is. This is only this is only to process your thoughts and your body movements. Your brain, the brain behind the brain, is not here. I'm going to tell you where it's at. Yesterday I was looking at crystal skulls. I call them now crystal balls because I can read them. This is a crystal skull. Back over here you have a penis. Processing point for our thoughts, our movement, and that's it. It's my position that our brain does not contain in itself the command center, if that makes sense to you. Our brain, unlike our car, where the engine is driving the car, there's a control module or a what they call a brain that actually makes all of the decisions for the car to start and all that. Hello everybody, I'm Jerome right here again, and once again you're joining me on my YouTube Jeronification channel here on YouTube. Okay, I have an image up here of a brain, presumably a human brain. Okay, and this brain is actually, I'm going to discuss in detail that our brains is not the central command center for the intelligence of what we are or what we came to be. It's my position that this is just a problem. It's my position that our brain is the same exact way. If you think about it, people, and let this marinate on your brain, on your mind for a minute, that this you would not have an all-in-one scenario where your brain, the command center, all of that is right there in your head. It wouldn't make for a logical defense system for your body, because whatever attacks this part would actually kill the command center as well too.